one thing I've noticed, the igbos are more or less the type of people whose desire is mainly to dominate everybody. If they go to a village, to a town, they want to monopolize everything in that area. If you put them in a labor camp as a laborer, within a year they will try to emerge as headman of that camp, and so on. Well, in the past, our people were not alive to their responsibilities, because you can see from our northernization policy that in 1952, when I came here, there weren't 10 northerners in our civil service here. And I tried to have it northernized, and now all important posts are being held by northerners.
Is this policy of filling all key...
Well, I've recently seen a video about a guy giving his own narrative about why House of Lani or Northerners don't get along with Igbos, and he took his time to went back to history, where he picked a video of Ahmadu Bello, Sardauna of Sokoto, where he made some comments regarding Igbos. But just before saying, or before kind of mentioning things about Ahmadu Bello, or try to justify what he said, let me quickly take you back to Nigerian history a bit. You see, as part of British colonial masters' divide and rule policy was the concept of regionalism. And this concept was successfully instilled between our founding fathers, that's to say people like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, and Sardauna of Sokoto, since when they were students in the United Kingdom. This gave rise to them forming particular groups that are purely ethnic. Like Obafemi Awolowo came up with the group Odudua Children, or Children of Odudua rather, and Sir Ahmadu Bello, Sardauna of Sokoto, came up as well with Jam'iyyar Mutanen Arewa, which basically means organizations of northern people. And it's really interesting to understand that these groups later transformed into political parties in the country. So, when we gained our independence in the year 1960, Nigeria was not the Nigeria that is today. It was a federation of 3 regions, namely, we had Northern region governed by Sir Ahmadu Bello of Sokoto. We have Eastern region governed by Obafemi Awolowo, Eastern region as well governed by Michael Opara. So at that time, what happened was, for some reasons, most of important political positions in the north were filled by mostly about 80% Igbos, and you have like 15 to 10% Yorubas, and then you have few northerners in these important political positions. So when Ahmadu Bello came to him, this is a disrespect and unfair, which is of course understandable. Then, as part of his northernization policy, he tried to field these important or key political positions by northerners, because especially if you remember the rivalry that happened or started since when they were students in the United Kingdom, it's kind of a clear disrespect, you know, to have positions filled by people from other regions, while you have people from northern regions coming up to fill these positions. Many people, especially from our brothers Igbo community, they misunderstood Ahmadu Bello because they clearly didn't know, or they didn't take their time to go back to Nigerian history or to know the regional agenda that happened in Nigeria. So to them, this was kind of ethnic bigotry or animosity towards Igbo community, which was clearly not the case if they took their time and go back to history to know the northernization policy or the regional government agenda. And one interesting fact that will show you how dear North was to Sir Ahmadu Bello is the fact that he was to become the Prime Minister, not Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, but he rather stayed and worked for the North, and then he put the position to Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. This will clearly show you how dear North was to him. Now, let's fast forward to 1966, when the first military coup happened in Nigeria. What I want you to know is, it's really interesting to know that out of the officers that took part in this coup, all of them were from Igbo extraction, with the exception of only one officer. And this officer was Adewale Ademoyiga. He was the only non-Igbo leader in the coup, or military officer rather. After that coup happened, we have lost so many important people in the north. People like Ahmadu Bello was killed, Tafawa Balewa among others. People from Yoruba extractions were killed by a coup hugely dominated by Igbo military officers. And to make the matter even worse was the fact that the imagined list of the casualties or people killed or affected by the coup were 11 senior politicians and 2 soldiers. No any Igbo was in that list. This gave the question that, was it really a blunder, or was a kind of a serious plot or setup from Igbo community? And on top of that, even people that were key in Tafawa Balewa's government that happened to be Igbo, take someone like Nnamdi Azikiwe, for some reason were safely out of the country or not affected by this coup. So this gave rise to a suspicion among other ethnic groups. People from the northern part of Nigeria and western region as well begin to think this is just a plot mainly organized by Igbos to take control of the country, something that they couldn't do at that time through ballot box. So just like this guy in the video that was kind of giving Igbo version of the story or narrative, I as a northerner as well, I can say this history fact really instigated hatred or animosity towards the Igbos, not only in the north but in the western part of the country as well. However, I still believe as a Nigerian, we can come together as Nigerians rather to work for this country and forget all this that transpired in the past, even though it's really difficult, for history to be erased completely, because history shaped us as people. History is today, history is yesterday, and history is tomorrow as well.